So what we are going to be looking at, we are still on the Python. Okay, so we'll be looking at how we can convert, especially the numeric data types. We want to quickly look at how we can convert from one data type to the other. So, meaning that it's possible, we can actually convert this. We can convert an integer. We can convert it to float, and we can convert a float to integer. We can convert an integer to complex. We can also convert a float to complex. So let's see how this can be applied. So I come to my command prompt. So I'm going to say my data equal to, I say int int I write the number, I write like a 5.6. All right, so now let's print. Yes, remember what I told you? I said we want to look at how we can convert a float to integer, integer to float, float to complex, integer to complex. Exactly, that is what we are doing. That is why I added int. I know the number is float, but the int I've added before it now is going to convert it to what? To integer. So now let us print. So I'm going to print my data. All right. Now, did you see what it has given me? It will give me what? 5. So the decimal point is cut off. Anything from the decimal point is cut off. It doesn't do approximation. I know that normally in your math you will do approximation. This one doesn't approximate. It's cut off anything that was what? That is decimal points, and only return the whole number aspect of it. So now with this now, if I decide to confirm and verify the data type, you will see what it will give me as a print type my data, and it returns what? Integer. So we have been able to convert a float to integer. So now we are going to look at how we can convert an integer back to float, the same way we did it. So let's see how this can be done. I said so I'm going to say my data equal to float, and I'm printing 5. Now see what is going to return when I print my data. Now it returned 5.0. So it has converted my integer to float. To be very sure, let us verify the data type. I can say print type my data, and it's going to give you float. So this is how we have how to convert an integer to float and a float to integer. So now we want to see how we can convert an integer to complex. How to convert an integer to complex. So let's see how that can be done. I'm going to say my data equal to complex 5. All right. So now let's just print my data, and it's going to give you what? A complex. So this is complex. Complex always has a J. All right. It's a number with a J. Any number with a J is called complex. So you see, it returned 5 plus 0J. That J is unknown. Remember when we talk about complex, the complex we printed has a J when we are looking at data types. Good. Now we have been able to convert an integer to what? To complex. So now let's convert an integer. We have been able to convert an integer to complex. So let's convert a float to complex. So I'm coming here to say my data equals to, and I'm going to say complex 5.6. And I'm going to print my data. Print my data. And you see 5.6 plus 0J. So we've been able to convert it to what? To complex. You can verify that by trying to print out the data type. So type my data, and it's going to give you complex. So you see how we convert from one numeric data type to another. Unfortunately, you cannot convert complex to any other type. You can only convert other number types to complex, but you cannot convert a complex to another data type. So that is all about data types in Python. Data type in Python. So we are going to do one more thing. And that one more thing we are going to do is how we can actually make use of what? Random numbers. We can make use of random numbers. Random numbers in Python. Now, the truth of the matter is that Python does not have built-in what? Random numbers. However, we can import a module and use it to generate what? Random number. And that is, it does not have built-in. It doesn't have built-in random numbers. However, we can import a module and use it to generate a random number. And after that, that will be all for Python for today. So it's now left for you to now go home and practice and make sure that you master all these data types very, very well. And also the previous classes, the previous topics we've been able to cover in Python, such as variables, functions. You also need to what? Make sure you understand them very, very well. Because after a few more topics in Python, moving to installing the NumPy and Panda libraries that were actually meant for data analytics. So this is just the basics of Python. So are we ready? All right, so we are going to be looking at random number. That is the last topic for today when it comes to Python for data analytics. Now, to do that, I need to make use of the keyword. I say import random. Import random. And then I can now say random dot rand range. Then put the range. The range could be 5. Let's say 5 to what? 5 to 20. All right, this is the round range. And it has done what? It has given me, now I can assure you that you might not get the same thing with me, even though we wrote the same thing, import random dot rand range, then 520. You might not get the same thing with me because we call it random number. How many did you get? You got 5, right? So that is random number. It just gives you a random number. So you can now specify the range. So it's going to give you any number between 5 and 20. So if I still repeat again, round range is going to keep what? It's going to keep changing it. So if I still come here now and say random.import random dot rand range, and I say 5, 20, and then I press. This time around, you see what it has given me? 15. So it just gives you random number between the specified range. So here comes to the class for today on Python. So any question so far so that we can address it?